Hello, my name is Aaron Louie, and welcome to my series on the basics of playing the piano. Today, we'll be discussing posture. I will be focusing on the four main parts of the body that we use to play the piano: the torso, the arm, the hand, and the finger. In this video, we'll look at each one of these parts one by one. I'll explain how they work and then show you a few examples so you can see and hear for yourself. This video is designed to explain the basics and also to provide a quick reference for you to come back to. Let's start with the torso. The torso's main job is to provide support for the rest of the body. When you go to sit down at the piano, first position the bench so that you can comfortably reach the keys and the pedal. Make sure you aren't sitting too close to the keyboard, as that will limit the movement of your arms. Generally, you'll want to sit on the front half of the bench so that your body naturally leans slightly forward toward the keys. Sit too far back, and you'll have to use more of your core to keep yourself in a playing position. Of course, these are just guidelines, and a lot will depend on your setup and also your own individual needs. The main goal is to be comfortable and relaxed, and in a position that allows your torso to move and support your playing. Your torso should feel free to move to the left, right, or forward from your starting position, depending on what's needed. Let's watch an example. In this clip, you can see my torso moving to support the arms, hands, and fingers wherever they need to play. The torso controls the big picture movement and also provides support for pressing the keys. Don't try to hold your arms up with your shoulders. Instead, keep your shoulders relaxed and move with the flow of the notes. Try this out at your piano. Pick some chords or notes to play with both hands, then lock your elbows and only play them by leaning forward with your torso. Of course, you won't be playing the piano like this normally, but you'll get a sense of how you can use your torso to support the notes you play. To review, the torso's main job is to provide support for your playing by moving side to side or forward. How much you move really comes down to personal preference. Some people like to move a lot, while others are more stationary. As long as you feel like the parts of your body are working together to play the piano, you don't really need to worry about the torso. However, if you feel tense in the shoulders or feel like you don't have as much control as you'd like, then check your positioning and see if anything that we mentioned here is holding you back. Feel free to go back and review this section and take this video at your own pace. The second part is the arm. The arm's job is twofold. First, the arm moves the hands and fingers into position on the keyboard. Second, the arm is responsible for most of the force needed to press down the keys and make sound. A lot of people, when first starting to learn the piano, have in their minds that it's the finger's job to provide the force to press down the keys, similar to typing on a computer keyboard. However, that is not the finger's job, and playing this way repeatedly over the course of time can cause fatigue or even a repetitive strain injury. So if it's not the finger's job, how does the arm help press the keys? The answer is by using the weight of the arm and gravity. Take a look at this example. As you can see, my left index finger is barely moving from its curved position. Instead, my arm is responsible for lifting it up, and the weight of the arm is bringing it back down into the keys. When you have notes in a row like a scale, you can transfer the weight of the arm from finger to finger. Notice again how little my fingers move from their original positions as I play this scale. Instead of 5 fingers moving independently, they simply wait for their turn to receive the weight from the arm. A great example to demonstrate the arm's two roles is Domenico Scarlatti's Sonata K-159. I'm playing this piece at a nice relaxed tempo so we can see the movements of the arm. Watch how my arms are very involved in playing each note, moving up and down, lifting above the keys, then driving the fingers down into the keys. And again from a top view. This time, notice the arm's role in moving the hands to where they need to be before they actually need to play. So let's review. The arm has two jobs: to move the hands and fingers into position and to provide the force needed to push down the keys. If you're still unclear about how to use your arm weight, you can review this section or continue on, as the upcoming sections on hands and fingers might help clarify this concept. The third body part is the hand. The hand has three jobs. First, to pivot and arrange the fingers so they can reach their notes comfortably. Second, to rotate the fingers into their notes. And third, to support each finger as much as possible and provide stability, especially to the weaker fingers. It's no secret that our fingers are all different lengths from each other. The hand is responsible for arranging the fingers so they can play comfortably. The hand does this by pivoting at the wrist to the right or to the left. Let's say I need to play an A major chord, followed by a B flat major chord. My hand has to pivot to the right in order to bring my thumb up to reach the B flat. A good way to keep track of this pivoting motion is to watch the line of knuckles on the back of the hand. When playing a passage, you want your hand to be free to make these kinds of adjustments. The second job of the hand is to help press down the keys by rotating the fingers into them. Once again, the fingers do not need to push down the keys all on their own. Instead, the arm and hand should be providing the majority of the force. For the hand, the motion we want is the same motion that you would use to turn a doorknob. As you play from note to note, rotate the wrists left and right like you're rocking back and forth. Your elbows should stay pretty stationary as you do this. There are two reasons why this motion is preferred over using your individual fingers. First, rotating the hand allows you to combine multiple notes into one motion. Rather than playing these notes individually, we can accomplish the same thing with a simple flick of the wrist. This makes playing alternating notes much more efficient. The second reason is that rotation uses the bicep muscles, while playing with your fingers uses your forearm muscles. Try wiggling your fingers in the air. You should notice your forearm moving slightly. Now try opening the invisible doorknob in the air. You should notice that your bicep is now active. Considering the number of notes you play every time you sit down to practice, the choice of which to use is clear. Go with the technique that lets you combine multiple notes into one motion and also makes use of the bigger bicep muscle. The third job for the hand is to support and provide stability to every finger as much as possible. Here's what an unsupported finger looks like. As you can see, this pinky is out on its own, which makes it more difficult to control and get the sound you want. Here's what a supported finger looks like. As you can see, the supported finger has the structure and stability from the hand, and all the way up the arm as well. While having supported fingers is preferable, it's important to note that you will always have unsupported fingers if you have to play octaves or any combination of notes that require your hand to stretch. But as much as possible, try to move the hand over to support every finger that plays. Watch this excerpt from Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune and notice how the line of knuckles in the right hand changes depending on what notes need to be played. Watch again as I play it slower. This time, watch for unsupported fingers. There's a lot in this passage because of all the held notes, but whenever it is possible, I line up my hand under my fingers to support them. To review, the hand has 3 important jobs. First, to pivot and arrange the fingers so they can reach their notes comfortably. Second, to rotate the fingers into their notes. And third, to support each finger as much as possible and provide stability, especially to the weaker fingers. We've really just scratched the surface of these concepts, so review them as necessary. The fourth and final body part is the finger. As I have already hinted at, the finger has less responsibilities than you might think. In fact, the finger has only one job, and that is to simply be strong and consistent. Let's say you do a perfect job of setting up your torso, arms, and hands to play, but when your fingers hit the keys, they bend and collapse under all the weight. All of that hard work goes to waste because your fingers act unpredictably when you try to press the keys down. Let's see how Clair de Lune sounds with weak fingers. Even though nothing's changed in my arms or hands, there were many mistakes simply because I couldn't predict how my weak fingers would move when they hit the keys. So what do strong fingers look like? Strong fingers are curved fingers. You have 3 knuckles for each finger, and if you bend them like an arch bridge and hold them in that position, you'll be able to bear the weight of the arm and consistently be in control of the notes you play. Let's go back to our C major scale. Watch as I add some speed. Again, see how little work the fingers actually do. My arm and my hand are doing most of the work, while my fingers just need to be strong when called upon. So let's review. The finger has one and only one job: to be strong and consistent. That's it. So in this video, we covered the 4 main body parts that you use when you play the piano: the torso, the arm, the hand, and the finger. Hopefully, you've gained a greater understanding of how each of these parts can help you make the music that you want to make. I will leave you with one final demonstration, playing the theme from Felix Mendelssohn's Variations Sérieuses, Opus 54. See if you can spot the concepts we have discussed in this video. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.